Tumbling and tumbling, the world rushes past him, continually in a never-ending whirlwind of snow, gleaming sunlight, and scattered blurs of images. Smashing to an end underneath a pristine pile of apparent nothingness, the crushing weight of the fluff disperses through a flurry of sweeping hands and panic spasms. Once the heavy breathing stops and the panic subsides, the silence breaks with the foolhardy laughter of Daniel, his brother, lazily rolling and laughing at the wreckful path of the toboggan, now wedged among the snow and fence, waiting to be freed. The signal for the end of the day penetrates a moment as their mother calls them in to dry off, warm up, and prepare for the things of the day to be done. Gradually the cold evening air creeps in, only kept at bay by the warm walls of the room and the loving air of a freshly made bed and sleepily heard bedtime story. As his eyes listlessly shut out the view of the room, Pat yawns, hopefully awaiting peaceful dreams and a bright tomorrow, filled with the same carefree laughter of the day past. Energetically bounding off the school bus begins another day at St. Mary's of the Annunciation School in Danvers. The brick walls of the prison-like structure restrain the minds and hearts of cooped children waiting for a moment, even brief, to run outside and feel the sun and air gleefully pressing against their cheeks. The ticks of the second hand pound endlessly in his ears as the lesson taught by Sister Teresa floats by like a wave, perhaps something about cursive handwriting, or perhaps about grammar and punctuation. The walls of the poster-filled classroom are alight in the glory of sunshine spring as bursts of fresh air through the cracked windows tease his mind with thoughts of playing later in the gradually darkening hours of the day. Patrick, what is the answer? His heart sinks in the horror of being discovered at his moment of unbridled imaginative angst for freedom. The answer eludes his mind as he racks it for the answer, only coming up with a flushed face and trembling voice. No words can escape his mouth as he feels the gaze of classmates and teacher alike weigh upon his shoulders. The timid nature of his personality grows exponentially as every moment passes, and the thumping tick of the clock becomes a relentless reminder of the silence in the air. "Pay attention," says Sister, as she returns to her lesson. Relentlessly paying heed to every spoken word afterwards, he hopes to redeem himself by answering as many questions as possible, in hopes of avoiding ridicule on the long bus ride home. Recess brings the day to a relaxing pause as the lessons of the day are put on hold for half an hour of jungle gym climbing, laughter, and easy spirits. The fences and walls surrounding him are as far away as the coast, and the watchful eyes of the teachers on duty cannot restrain the desire to run, play, and laugh with the ignorant bliss of life behind him. The teaching resumes and passes thankfully as the final announcements signal the close of another day of work. Walking down the narrow aisle and descending the 3 steps of the distinctly yellow school bus give way to the tranquil and unchanged room of his grandparents' house, welcoming him with a warm greeting. The smell of hot food and growing flowers, coupled with the cloud-soft furniture, make this place a welcome respite to any horrors the day may have brought. As the time for homework comes around, Pat and his grandfather sit at the kitchen table to break through the work and overcome the unfailing obstacles that homework so often brings. No question or problem can ever seem to stump Grampy, even the one that perplexed Pat's mind to the deepest degree. Math and science, religion and language, they all seem so natural and obvious to Grampy as he easily helps Pat through endless volumes of math problems and mountains of sentences that need restructuring and repunctuating. How can he comprehend all of these things? How does he go out and complete the work he sets out for a day and still arrive at the table with the ability to help with schoolwork? Pat's mind fills with these thoughts of wonder and quiet astonishment and aspiration to one day reach this level of intellect and prowess. The workload steadily diminishes, and night sets in on this long day. Mom arrives to pick him up and bring him home, a transfer of the same jubilation of his second home to his resting place for the night. The warm covers and sheets bring a final closure to the day, as darkness rolls across his eyes, and the promise of tomorrow awaits the rise of the sun. At last, the weekend. Hours and hours of outdoor time lay waiting to be experienced. "Mom, can I go over maths, please?" "Of course. Go get ready and get in the car." The 10-minute drive seems to take seconds as he sits in the back seat with baseball glove in hand, hat on head, and smile ear to ear. Nothing can dull this moment of time for him unless the ground itself was to open up and impede his travels. Arriving at the mid-part of the steep hill where Matt resides initiates the fun and exploits of the day. Back and forth the baseball gently soars through the air with the soft thump of it arriving home in a glove, barely ascending the tweets of birds and occasional whir of a car passing. The simple toss of the ball brings the oddest happiness to his friend and him that he has so easily become lost on the adults of the world. Back and forth the ball gently soars until one moment of a lack of coordination turns the soft thump of the glove into a sore thud of the baseball into the stomach. The shock and tingle of the connection delay the pain for Pat for a brief moment until reality sets in. The tingle turns sour and the pain sets in. Doubling over with tears in his eyes, he can do nothing but wait for the moment to pass and the pain to subside. Enough catch for one day, but the day has just begun with hours of entertainment at the push of a button and the twirl of a joystick. The simplest, mindless games of PlayStation seem to remove him from this reality and place him into a world so succinctly defined by objectives and missions that winning is always an option and always the set course of action. Outside again and returning inside once more, the play could go on for hours, but is cut short by the high-pitched ringing doorbell. They skirt the noise and continue their fun, avoiding the calls to leave and the threats of punishment to make the day endure even 1 minute more. Finally, sadly, it is time to go. But the warm rooms of his home await the arrival of scuffing shoes and dropped bags. Pull over the jersey and lace up the cleats, grab the bat and helmet and get ready to play ball. As he got his things ready, Pat couldn't help but fantasize about what the game tonight might bring. Another victory and one step closer to the World Series trophy, or another defeat could be lurking around the corner ready to bring the season to an end, weeks before it should. As the damp moisture of the late spring night rolls in, the stadium lights turn on with the buzz of anticipation of what's to come tonight. The chatter grows and the team prepare for a matchup, motivating and energizing one another in the hopes that extra burst of energy to hit farther, run faster, or throw harder. The pitches are thrown, strike one, ball one. Now man on first and he arrives at the plate to take his turn. Every moment becomes elongated and the bright glow of 1,000 stadium lights turn into a spotlight as everyone focuses their gaze on two teammates playing catch, with Pat standing in their way trying to get on base. Two balls sail by, shortly followed by strike two, and the pressure begins to mount. The low starting windup of the pitcher creeps along as he focuses intently on putting the ball down the middle of the plate, as Pat focuses intently on every movement the ball makes. The twang of the bat and the shudder of his arms tells him that contact has been made. Drop the bat and run now. All of those days of carefree running in the playground turn into a frenzied blur of legs as he pursues first base, seemingly so far away. Safe at last, standing easy, panting heavily on first base. The small hit opens up the door for opportunity to run, steal, and progress for the welfare of someone other than himself. The pitch rides down the air, and before anyone knows what has happened, Pat arrives at second base, now dirtier for his effort, but cleanly safe. The game goes on, and his team continues to score, as does the other team, hoping that the next move will be the decisive play to end the night and bring a satisfied feeling to one group of children, and a sour feeling to the loss of another. His team has won in the final seventh inning of the long game, and now he can rest with a good note lying in his mind. Finally, the day draws to a close with a little W for win on the calendar for his night's triumph. The ice cream afterwards proved just as sweet as the taste of victory. As the days grow longer and nights grow warmer, the eve of summer knocks at the door. Come in, let's feel the warmth, the freedom, and the love drawn tight on the strong, beautiful summer night. A walk down the street playing on the grass, laying in a hammock enjoying life go by. What more could he ask for? The glow of the moon reflects a shadow of undoubting life, illuminating in light the splendor of his time. Beauty, nature, and life express that inner feeling with an outward expression. Who knew how beautiful life could be if he only took the time to notice? The soft flutter of something around the midsummer night may as well be a dream, so far away yet closer to heart and mind than anything else. As he waits for this dream, the beauty is all around him, softly breathing, gently wriggling in the night. Let the light of the moment illuminate the desire within for growth and life. This is just one night and one summer of his life, but it may as well be here to stay. As the days grow on and beauty reveals itself, so does the gradual nag of despair, lurking silently in the background of time, waiting to be exposed. The only time will tell and reveal what is to come, and how moments will turn into experiences of great loss or great success. For right now, the bliss of ignorance once again surrounds Pat in his journey through life, waiting for the experiences of the world to greet him at his door every morning.